What's up, family? This is DJ Supreme with Ask DJ Supreme. Last week we sent out a post to everyone asking if they had any questions about my latest release, Arctic 2 featuring Ice-T and the Icepick. So I got your questions here, so we'll go through them as clearly and succinctly as possible. Before I get into that, out the gate there was a lot of questions about features and reunions and stuff like that, and pertaining to Hijack. I'm not going to cover that in this video. I think I covered that enough already in my 3-hour interview with Classic HipHop recently, my interview in 2015 on my website www.djsupreme.com, and a few other places like Tuntable Trixters DVD. All the links will be below this video, so you can go and check that out. I'm kind of freestyling this, so I may have to chop up the video and edit it up so it's a bit cleaner. So if you see that the lighting's changed, I'm outside, and if you see that it's choppy, that's only because I've made mistakes, and I want to make sure that the questions are answered clearly. All right, let's go into the first one. So the first one is from Kenneth, and it says, time ago you gave us a preview of a tune with MC Mercury from Gunshot. Is this still happening? Actually, that's quite an interesting question and does pertain to Arctic. Arctic was originally created with Mercury in mind. He was supposed to feature on Arctic when I made it. We had been in touch for about 1.5 years, and I really wanted to feature. Gunshot is one of my favorite groups of all time. We were on tour with them, really nice guys, loved them to death, so I really wanted to do a feature with them, especially with the whole Supreme Legacy concept. So it was perfect fit. So I did contact him, he was up for it, but then circumstances changed on his side, meaning that he couldn't really make the feature anymore, and that's when I pulled in Icepick to finish the track. So Icepick took the track over, and that's how Arctic became the track that it is now, featuring Icepick. That said, I'm still in touch with Mercury and definitely want to work with him still, so a feature with Mercury is still on the cards and is in the making. So definitely Gunshot on Supreme Legacy is definitely a goer from my point of view. Is there going to be a part 3 with Ice Cube? Would you consider expanding the video concept to a mini full movie starring yourself, of course? Is there going to be a part 3 with Ice Cube? No. No. But the next question, where you say, would you consider expanding the video to a full movie, that actually is how the whole video concept started. The whole concept was a movie, and what you see in the video is actually just a really condensed section of that movie. So we have written a full concept for a movie with all characters fleshed out, the backstories for each of them, and what's going on, what story is being told, who committed the murder, for example. You don't really know who does that in the video, but in the full story we actually reveal who does the murder. Is it me? Is it the detective? Is it the butcher? We don't know. So there is a movie concept on paper, and of course if people want to see that, would you be willing to fund a movie like that? I mean, respond below, let us know. Would you be interested in seeing a full movie? We've got all the pieces in place to do it, and the team's in place, but if it was funded, yeah, we'll definitely do it. Definitely be an interesting project to do. So let us know below if you'd be willing to fund something like that, and we'll definitely consider doing that. UK Style Wars, what is the connection between the fixer and the detective, and what was Icepick late for? So my role was the fixer and Icepick was the detective. So what was the connection? There was no connection in the video. If you see the detective, Icepick, is actually in hot pursuit of the case. So he's actually following and doing his job. We don't have a connection till the very end of the video. What that connection is, nobody knows. So we actually just make a connection at the very end. He's coming to me at the very end of the thing, not knowing that the fixer is involved in any way. So there is no connection until that point. The story is not fully told in that video. So the next part of that question was, why was the detective late, or what was he late for? So if you check out in the video how the fixer moves, it's very tidy, very clean, very precise. Everything has to be organized, and timeliness is very important. So when he says you're late, he's basically just saying, when you're dealing with me, Mr. Detective, being punctual is key. So be on time. That's all that he was saying with that statement. What was he late for? Again, there's clues in the video that basically tell you that the detective was meeting with the fixer for a specific reason. The clue is in the video. If you watch it carefully, you'll see why he would want to go to the fixer. A man of means, a man of connections, a man of money. Why would he go and see him? The clues are in the video, so just watch again, maybe one more time. Why did you put a filter on Ice-T's voice in Arctic 2? His voice is cult. That idea was from Ice-T himself. Ice-T recorded his vocal in LA with an engineer called Jared Goslin, and basically they provided me with two versions of the vocal, a plain vocal and one that they mixed and thought was a really cool idea for the track, and I loved it. It really cut through the track, it really matched the live guitars, and it was perfect. It was a perfect fit. It really sounded good, and it's not something you hear Ice doing a lot. So I basically just ran with that. I didn't bother mixing the clear vocal that I had received from him. I just said, okay, I'm going to run with that, and I'm going to do a similar effect on Icepick's vocal as well. So I took Ice-T's lead on his suggestion as to what to do with his vocal, and in my opinion, it works perfectly. Michael Ridley, how was Arctic 2 received in the States, as it had the legend Ice-T on it, running at his best? So first, thank you for recognizing that Ice-T sounds his best. I think Ice-T sounds his dopest, because I mean, I was shocked when I heard it. I mean, I've known Ice for a long time and I know his music. So when I heard that, I thought, yeah, this is Ice-T plus some. So I was really excited to hear his vocal, and obviously he was feeding off the track, as he told me later when I went to go and meet him, that he was feeding off the energy of the track, and that's what brought out the performance. So it was really cool to have a really nice performance from Ice-T on this track. And how was it received in the States? I don't really know, it's early days yet. It's been received well. It's in HipHop God's charts, so it's getting played on the radio over there in the States. Chuck D is sharing it on his timeline on Facebook, and a few other notables are sharing the track online. It's in a few blogs online, so generally the reception has been positive. So I can say overall it's all good right now. It's all good right now, all over the world. So positive all across the board. So I'm pleased with that. Any chance of producing a new Ice-T album? I mean, if I was asked to do a project with Ice-T, of course I would jump at the opportunity. So I've talked to Ice-T extensively. He's on kind of like the same page as me. He wants to do different things. He's moving forward with his music and his vision. And you can see the stuff that he's doing with Body Count. I mean he's out there in terms of what he wants to do, stretching himself, taking it to the next level. So we've talked about working together. So if the opportunity arises, yes, there'll definitely be more stuff with me and Ice-T. The next one is from Matt Herbert. How about a DJ Supreme produced Rhyme Syndicate LP? That's never really crossed my mind. Getting that together, I think that's something for Ice-T to pull together. Really, that all depends on him. If he pushed the button on that one, I'm sure everybody would jump on board and get involved. So that's with Ice-T. That's not really my call, but yeah, of course, I'm up for any kind of project that's interesting with really good talent. John Dyer asks, any chance of revealing what HQATW means at the end? That green piece of paper that Ice-T, the Butcher, opens up in the bar scene with me towards the end of the video. It says HQATW, and what that means is HQ, obviously HQ squad is hunting quarters all the way. HQ all the way. Hunting quarters all the way. That's what it means, and it was actually coined in the first version of Arctic by Icepick, and it's a phrase that we use in the clique, and basically it just means that stand on your square, stand solid, move forward, live to a certain standard, keep your quality high, and always check yourself. If you don't check yourself, be sure that somebody in the HQ would check you. And that's what the HQ philosophy is. HQ all the way means always be about your business, always make sure that you're sharp and on point. And we, as a family, that's how we roll. That's how we roll. And that's what it means in the video. How it ties in with the whole storyline, that comes back to the whole film concept. So again, if you want to see a film, a short movie, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes, make a comment below. If you're willing to finance something like that, we'll definitely look at doing something and putting out a longer version of the Arctic 2 movie. Darren Lewis, when is Legacy 2 dropping? I'm hoping Legacy 2 is going to drop next month, digitally at least. The vinyl side of stuff, I'm not sure yet, but digitally I would like to drop it in October, latest first or second week in November. But I'm aiming for next month to drop Legacy, Supreme Legacy version 2.0. You asked who's featured on it. I can say the single would be on there, then the latest single with Ice-T and the Icepick. I've got another track with Icepick on there. I got Blade on there. I got who else? Rira from Ireland on there. I got Shaka Shazam on there. So it's the track list hasn't been finalized yet, but there's some interesting cats on there that I've got performing. So 4 to 5 tracks on the EP. That's Supreme Legacy 2.0. Which Legacy track is your personal favorite, and what is it? And what is your favorite DJ Supreme track that you have ever produced? I don't have any favorite tracks actually. My latest track is always my favorite track. The track that I'm working on right now is my favorite track. The reason I say that is because I'm always trying to outdo the last track. So my best track, as far as I'm concerned, hasn't been made yet. So my best track is yet to be made, because I'm always looking ahead. The next track has to be better than the previous track, and that's how I battle and challenge myself to push to the next level. And that's really my philosophy. I really don't pick any favorite track. My favorite track or my best track is yet to be made. And that's my work ethic basically. That's my philosophy. How do you and other veterans of the UK hip-hop scene feel about the exposure and mainstream success of the new wave of grime style MCs? My opinion on music in general is that good music is good music. I know it's a bit cliche, but I listen to all music. I don't care if it's good music, I'm in it. It could be from classical, it could be dubstep, it could be EDM, it could be deep house, it could be soul, R&B. I don't really care. As you can hear in my sound, I'm kind of everywhere at the moment, sonically. If you listen to Arctic, it's very rock, heavy bass. If you listen to RIP, it's slightly different. If you listen to the remixes on Supreme Legacy version 1, you hear kind of like the classic whole sound. But what I really produce now is really out there somewhere else. My music style is somewhere else at the minute. I'm doing everything from EDM to deep house to R&B to classical to film score type stuff. I'm really digging deep and doing different things. But the concept of Supreme Legacy is that I put out this music. At some point, Supreme Legacy will come to an end and I will be doing something completely different. And that's how the way I see it, because musically what I love now is completely different from what I loved back in the day. As far as of what's going on with grime, I love grime. It's our music. It's UK music. It's an evolution of UK music. Yeah, that's comes from a long history of music evolution in UK. When I was making music in 88, 89 and came out with this whole brickcore thing, people thought that wasn't hip hop. It was totally different. So I would not look at anybody else doing their version or their thing or their interpretation of hip-hop in their way and say, nah, that's not really hip-hop. For me, grime is hip-hop. It stems from hip-hop, it's just an interpretation of hip-hop. So for me, it's like, I love all that music. I give them their full props. I love the way that the game has changed, and those guys are really making a mark on a global level, doing big venues, doing festivals, and just and making money, making a living from it. That's really, really cool, and I love the way that the industry has changed and has embraced UK hip hop grime as it is today. So last question, Niraj KAUSHAL. Why was the businessman killed in the music video? If you don't know who Niraj KAUSHAL is, he's actually the businessman in the video that gets killed. So he's asking why is he got killed in the video, and I can't say. That's a difficult question to say. I can't say because I'll be giving it away. The clues are there in the video, but it's plainly shown in the longer version of the movie, which again, if you're interested in seeing that, leave a comment below. But yeah, big up Niraj, thanks for coming out to New York, doing your business, playing that victim and doing it very well, although you didn't know you wouldn't last very long in the whole shoot. So that's it. I hope I was able to answer all your questions. Just want to give a big shout out to Michael J. Diamond, the director, Jason Thomas, the producer, Daniel Horan, who's my manager but also the project manager for the whole Arctic shoot, Wifey of course for the whole visual concept for the Arctic 2 video, the main players Ice-T and the Icepick, and all the HQ family. Big shout out to those guys, and thanks for your support. And last but not least, you guys, thanks so much for all your support going forward over the years, making this thing roll along, getting bigger and better every time. So thank you for your continued support, and more to come. Legacy 2 coming soon. So peace.
Ice-T.